So, Harry, as you know, banks are always focused on this thing called efficiency ratio. And, in some cases, it's going to be very difficult for, let's say, an equipment finance function to be as efficient as, let's call it, the commercial real estate group, right? Very large transaction. You don't need that many people to drive big transactions. But our transactions could be anywhere, yours anyway, we're probably anywhere from a 500 million to $2 million, maybe even bigger. But some are smaller too. And if you're on a small ticket side, the efficiency ratio and the number of people you got to throw at it used to be pretty high. Talk to me about the bank's fear of the high cost of entry.
I think you're very close to the answer, right, as you asked the question, Bob. And that is that there's a lot of ways to get the work done without involving adding a lot of headcount. Quite often the systems can be connected with the legacy systems of the bank very easily, and the systems that you need are offered by third parties. I found that the cost of entry was quite reasonable, and it can be maintained for many years. In my own case, I ran a $650 million portfolio with 12 people, and and most of those were business development people. Okay. Well, how did you have so few people? Because we used other products, and we used external sources, and we had procedures that integrated all of those. And those procedures and the integration of third parties all passed audits that bankers have, or they have through their public accounting firms, that actually got gold stars. And because you were able to use those third parties, our efficiency ratio was very good. Our return on capital across equipment finance far exceeded the commercial bank. And that was a real positive to anyone who would look at the organization. Not only did what we added to business relationships and new clients, but also what type of return we provided. And I really believe that today you can get into the business and it wouldn't be unreasonable to expect to be profitable in the first year.
That's pretty amazing, because now coming on my side, where I was on the other side of the divide of the leasing business, which was I was doing small ticket and vendor program, it's a lot more inefficient, but still, when you put all those deals on the books with all the costs, because we kept all the costs internal, we probably should have outsourced most of it. But because we kept all the costs internal and kept the people internal, it took about 18 months for it to start to flip as the assets began to build and the interest income began to overtake the flat level of the employee headcount cost, just operational cost.
The other thing I want to point out too is if you can keep down the amount of investment internally you would have, people and systems and the like, you have much more flexibility. So if you decide to, downplay a particular segment of the industry, here in Texas, a couple of years ago, we started downplaying heavily oil field services. Okay, well, I didn't have people exclusively dedicated to oil field services, whether it be in the equipment side or whether it be in the business development side, so that we could pivot and work on other industries with existing resources and never miss a step.
So you're a very big believer in diversifying your portfolio as an equipment finance group of a bank.
You will diversify it. You have to go where the opportunity is, clearly.
Sure.
So always focus on where you have the most opportunity, can add the most value. But you also have to be realistic in knowing that at times the industries will fall out of favor, and for good reasons, and you just want to be not as active of a participant.